ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰ ਰਾਏ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਕਥਾ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਕਿ ਮਿਕਸ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੇ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਵੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਚ ਕਥਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਰਦੇ, ਤੇ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਕਥਾ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਵੇ। ਮੈਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਦਿਸ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਸਟਾਰਟਡ ਇਸ ਬੇਸਿਕਸ ਆਫ ਸਿੱਖੀ, ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਭਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਨਾਲ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉਹ ਫਰਸ਼ ਤੇ ਸੋਚ ਲਓ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨੀਂਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਨਾ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਹ, ਉਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਥਾ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਟਕਸਾਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਉਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੱਕ ਕਮਰਾ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਉਸ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਬਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਦੀ ਪੰਥ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ 90% ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ 10 ਨਾਂ ਲਿੱਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਦੇ, ਜਾਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ, ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪੰਥ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਨਸੈਪਟ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣਾ, ਉੱਚਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕਿ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੜ ਜਾਣ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੜਨ, ਸਾਰੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲੈਣ, ਸ਼ਾਮੀ ਰਹਿਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲੈਣ, ਰਾਤੀ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸੋਲਾ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲੈਣ, ਸਵੇਰੇ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਰੱਬ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਣ, ਉਹ ਬਥੇਰਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਉਹ ਕਲਯੁਗ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਏ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬਾਂਹ ਫੜ ਲਿੱਤੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੀ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਮਝਣ ਜਪਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਹੈ ਕੀ। ਬਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ 90% ਲੋਕੀ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਹਲੇ ਉਹ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਘਰ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕਮਰੇ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਦਿਸ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਸੈਟ ਅਪ It's called Basics of Sikhi. And I can tell you that a lot of our people in our Panth don't know the basics. They don't know these 10 Gurus' names and how they relate to each other. They don't know who was Guru Har Rai to Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. They don't know that Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji were cousins. They don't know Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji and the Chote Sahibzade were cousins. Nahi pata unhanu. They don't know the history of our Gurus. They don't know what they did. Hon Gurmat hai ki. असल में गुरमत बड़ी सौखी है समझ मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट तो बड़ा डीप है पर जब हम डिफाइन करना बड़ा सौखा है what is gurmat is two things it's what the gurus did and what the gurus said है ना guru is just guru mat guru di mat guru's wisdom now you can show wisdom either by doing something or people can look at your actions and say wow how amazing is that or you can just say something now our gurus they weren't just talkers although what they said was amazing it's Ilahi Bani and it gives us anand. But even those, what they said, beyond that, they did stuff. They acted. And we have to learn from that. But a lot of our Panth, they don't know what the Gurus said. They don't know what the Gurus did. Yeah? Therefore, they don't have that reference point. Guru Mat is a reference point. Banda Turre Hega, he has a reference point. Ki, where do I turn to when I have a problem? When I have a conflict in my life, what example do I turn to decide what would be the best idea to do in this? Gurmat isn't a set of rules. Gurmat is more than a set of rules. It's what the Gurus said and it's what the Gurus did. And what we have to do is learn those so we can then live our life. Because life is not like you're not on a rail. On a rail line you can go off the rails, you can go back on the rails. And in a way Maryada is that. But on a day-to-day basis, there's many more things within that wider river of a Maryada where you have to decide what should I do in this option. And for that, we need the Guru's mat. Otherwise, we will just listen to what we think. And that's manmat. Basically, manmat is not knowing what the Guru said. So unfortunately, you can't blame somebody who's doing manmat if they haven't been told what's Gurmat. So sada farz banda hega to teach people Gurmat in the sense that don't scare them, because nowadays Gurmat is a very scary word as well for a lot of people. If you say, "Ek Gurmat nahi hai," they're like, I can't talk about this, yeah? They walk away. If we just tell people, all we want to do is teach you what did Guru Sahib say and what did Guru Sahib do. They don't find that as a problem. No one will find that as something offensive, because everybody wants to know something about the Gurus. They want to know what did they do and what did they actually say. So that is our farz. Now, what I want to talk about today is the zimmawari of the Panth. What is the problem facing us and what we might have to do about it. Because ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਇੰਝ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਓ ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਚਲਾ ਜਾਵੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਭੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਜਾਊਂਗਾ ਪਰ ਤਦ ਤੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਭੋ Now it's the same thing with our Guru. Guru Gobind Singh Ji has given the zimmawari to the Khalsa Panth. The Guru Granth Sahib Ji was given the Gurgaddi in 1708. But at the same time, even the Itihas was in Chamkaur di Gadi, Guru Gobind Singh Ji even put his star on top of Bhai Sangat Singh and said, now the Khalsa is the Guru. And even in 1699, Maharaj took Amrit from the Khalsa. And what they said is always, Khalsa mera roop hai, Khas. Khalsa is my form. The Khalsa has zimmawari now to look after the problems of the Panth. So it's not like when we go in our house, and I'm talking to the sort of young people my age or maybe younger than me as well, kids that are getting up to become adults. If there's milk on the floor in the kitchen, what will you say? Will you say, "Mummy, dud dul gaya"? What will you say? "Mummy, the milk's fallen on the floor"? What will you hear back from your mum? And I say, "Just saaf kar, sort it out." No one's going to expect you to tell your parents that something's fallen on the floor. They're going to say, "Do it yourself and clean it up." Now, if you're older and the zimmawari of the house on your shoulders, you won't even think twice. You know what you have to do. You'll get on and you clean the milk up. If it's a bigger problem, the grass needs cutting, yeah? The younger kid might tell the older that one of the head of the house, the grass needs cutting, is too big. There's loads of little things that need doing. But when you get your own house, when like people might get married, got kids, you know you can't turn to nobody. It's on your shoulders. So karna hi penda hai. When we're young, we can always sort of think of it sliding off our shoulders and pass it on to our parents. Ki toda karya tusi karo. As we get older, we realize it's our responsibility. There's no one going to help us. Okay? You might be able to get some friends, but we have to do it ourselves. But in the same way now, we have to look at our house. Now our house is not just this Gurdwara. Our family is not just in this Gurdwara. Our family is very big. Maharaj is never distinguished between anybody in their family. It's one big family. The Guru Gobind Singh ne kya said, your 4 children have died, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, what do you think now? What did they say? We all know the words. They said, Char muhe ta kya hua? Jeevat kai hazar. They never even distinguish between their own sakke children and the rest of the Khalsa. But what's happening now is that we are just living in our little bubbles. Yeah, we've decided that where we are, wherever we are in different areas, wherever our little jathis are, that's good enough for me, thanks. The rest of the pant doesn't bother me. I can tell you that the state outside, because when you go outside, you find out what's going on. Even Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when they went to the top of the mountains, the Siddhs asked him, Hanji, Baba, what's going on in the world? Tell me, what are they doing out there, Nanak? They called him Bala, because he was young compared to them. He said, Dasso ki ho raha? Maharaj said, Ki, the world is burning. And all the clever people, all the people that got some mat, they're hiding away in the mountains. And that's what he said, he criticized them. One way, the Gurdwara has become our mountain. The Gurdwara, for those people that are following Sikhi, and they know what Gurbani is saying, the Gurdwara has become our mountain, because we're safe here. We go, our work, come here, our Sikhis here, out there. But you know what, the rest of the world could be burning for all we know. And it's Jandini. We don't see what's happening in that 90% of the Panth that doesn't know what's going on. We don't see what's going on outside even our Punjabi Panth, what's going on in the local area. What is going on in South Shields? What are the people like in Newcastle? Are there any problems there? Well, I can tell you back in the old days, when Bhai Mani Singh heard that one of the girls, not Bhai Mani Singh, when Bhai Taru Singh heard that there was a Muslim girl who had been taken away, he got up, and all the rest of the things that he was giving mangar to, they got up. And they said, Shakna Bini, we're going to go and solve this problem first, then we're going to come back. Because jithe zulm ho raha hega, the Khalsa is ready there to do something. Where there was zulm, ਹੁਣ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ? ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਬਾਹਰ। ਸਾਡੀ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਕੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ? ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਈਸਟਰਨ ਯੂਰਪੀਅਨ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ forcibly pursued ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ, and they're keeping them in places where they can't get out, and ਪੰਥ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ। ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ, ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ, ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ। There's a lot of things the Panth is not taking any responsibility of. It's not on our radar. Things that should be on our radar, at least we know we've got a problem we've got to sort out. We can't do it now, but we have a 5-year plan to sort it out. In our house, there's a bit of our roof that's leaking, and it's dropping down, and the plaster's coming off. We might not be able to afford to do it right now, but we at least start saving up for it. But one day we're going to sort that out. But if we haven't even recognized the problem is there, how are we ever going to solve it? पता तो होना चाहिए कि this is our problem. Responsibility किस पे पैंदी हैगी है? It's our. And the thing is, Khalsa ji, is that the responsibility of our dad that he gave us is not just to look after the Gurdwara. No. Because there's nowhere in the Khalsa Adas that we say कि Gurdwara चरण सारी दुनिया सत्यानाश हो जाए, सानू कुछ नहीं हैगा, पर साडे Gurdwara क्या है? That's not what we say. We say नानक नाम चढ़दी कला तेरे पाने सरबत दा भला. We ask for sarbat. We're the only qawm in the world that asks for sarbat da pala. We never ask for sikha da pala. But at the moment, our actions aren't reflecting sarbat da pala. Our actions are not doing what our Guru Father has told us to do. Maharaj is sarbat da pala, but man, bach, karam. These are the 3 things that Maharaj has told us about. Sade man vich ki hega, sade bachan vich ki hega, sade karam vich ki hai, sade asi kar ki rahegi. These 3 things are what makes a person. What you're thinking, what you say, finally what you do. Now if we're not even thinking about these problems, how are we going to say anything about them? How are we going to do something about them? I think our responsibility first is to sort out our mind. Sort out our mind so we know exactly what we should be thinking about. Then we need to start talking about those things. When we start talking about them, then maybe other people would join us, and together as a Panth we can do something about it. Because it's not just individual actions, it's Panthic actions as well. In many ways, I would say, I know it's a bit harsh to say, I would say this world, and we lot here living in the West, we haven't seen the Khalsa yet. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਲੇ ਕਿ ਹੈ ਕੀ। ਜਿਸ ਵਕਤ ਦਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਕਿ 6 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਜਿਸ ਵਕਤ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰਾ ਚ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗਾ, in 6 months from ਵੱਡਾ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰਾ the Khalsa Panth had given a jawab already and they won battles against the enemy. What happened to us in 1984 and since then we haven't even been able to give 1 or 2 jawabs properly. Couple of people, Chardikala Singh, Sukha Jinda, Balwant Singh, they done something, but as a Panth we done nothing. There was no large scale. They destroyed us. And even those things that did Shahidiya, they did a lot of Shahidiya, but at the wider Panth, we didn't do anything that we can write home about. People died, but they never succeeded. And this was not the way the Khalsa was. The Khalsa was very organized. Nowadays, we've got a different concept of the Khalsa. I think that we don't know. We haven't seen the Khalsa. Hale. When we see the Khalsa, it's going to be different. When the Khalsa walks upon this land, and is out there saving women, when the Khalsa out there, she's looking after the homeless people, when the people in this street will stop you and say, what are you? Who are you? And I want to be like you. That's how the Khalsa used to be. There's no way the Khalsa was just walking around and people say, oh yeah, this is some turbans people. No. The Khalsa, wherever they went, it was an action. There was a step of the Khalsa. It's George hundi si Khalsa di. And that George, that different way of being, we haven't seen it yet. We're hoping about it. When the people came to this country many years ago, they knew what a Gurdwara was. When they came from India, our grandparents and our parents, when they came from India, they'd seen Gurdwara. They knew a Gurdwara had to have langar. They seen a Gurdwara had to have Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They knew that they couldn't stop somebody coming in. They knew some of the concepts, right? They might not have read Guru Granth Sahib Ji properly, but they knew what a Gurdwara needed to have. And they wanted to have a Gurdwara because they're used to it. So what they did is, they built buildings. They put Guru Granth Sahib Ji there, right? They set up langars and they said, look, we've made what we had back home. Asi kuch kar detta. But Khalsa Ji, because we don't know what the Khalsa is, we can't make it. Jira wo kam hai na, to recreate something that you don't have when you come to a new land. You can't make something you ain't never seen. You have to have a naksha of it before you can even make it. You have to have a concept in your head. This is what the Khalsa is going to be. So therefore you can actually take steps to make it. But I think that a lot of our people, at this moment, the people who are Amritari in the Panth, even their concept of what the Khalsa is not what the Khalsa was meant to be. The Khalsa was meant to be a lot bigger thing. It was meant to be the kind of thing that the rest of the Panth could look up to and say, that's what I aspire to one day to be. Yeah? Because they were doing stuff. It was always about doing. And now it's become more about being. It's about being Amritari, but not doing Amritari. Taking Amrit, but what about next? Because Amrit was all about dying. Amrit was about giving yourself to your Guru, and after that, people were prepared to do something for the wider world. It was at the Kande. When you got a beautiful bagicha bada sona hunda hai, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਫੁੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਟਾਈਮ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਸ ਬਗੀਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਤੇ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਬਗੀਚੇ ਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਡੇ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਕਿ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਜਾਨਵਰ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਾ ਆਣ, ਖਰਾਬ ਨਾ ਕਰਨ ਬਗੀਚੇ ਨੂੰ. That's what the Khalsa is. The Khalsa are those sharp thorns on the outside of this beautiful bagicha, which is Sikhi. The Jagat Guru, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, is the bagicha. It's where the whole world can come in and smell that bani and experience the beautifulness of that bani. It's here for everybody. But around it is this sharp, thorny bush called the Khalsa, which keeps it all safe and no one's allowed to touch it, no one's allowed to change it. And the Khalsa was partly that. The Khalsa was then out in the world. When Guru Gobind Singh says, I've come on this world, they tell us why they came on this world. They came here to destroy the tyrants, look after the saints. There's so many tyrants in this world. There's so many things that in this world that are wrong. And guess what? We are the answer. Now, I don't know, I haven't met many people who come up to me and say, you know what, we need to have a plan in place to take over UK. Because the UK government is not a dharmic government. It's not run on dharam, is it? Dharam means what we believe. Dharam chalavan. What's dharam for us? Sarbat Tapala. The UK government is not based upon Sarbat Tapala. The UK government is based upon the UK interest. So if we live in this country, I know it's a bit strange sometimes, people think that we should be planning to rule this country as per Khalsa ideology. Not to take it over so we can ruin it for other people and impose the Khalsa rules. That's not our way. We haven't got this concept of Sharia. But our job should be that this country should be run on the lines of the Khalsa. Equality for everybody, food for everybody, the basic levels of needs met, corruption being rooted out. No going to war over useless things. Not just looking for our own interest, but looking for the interests of everybody. These are the things that should be guiding us when we go in our daily life. Yes, in this country, there should be dharma. Dharma yudh. That's what we want to achieve. Dharma in this country. In this country, there's not dharma. Yes, there's a lot of laws, but there's a lot of hidden corruption. There's a lot of hidden problems. And those hidden things, you have to go looking for them. You can't find them by just sitting in our house, in our Gurdwara. We're not going to find them. They're outside. We have to read books. We have to find out what the social problems are. We're going to have to engage with social workers. Find out where the problems in this country are. Why is it the fact that most of the people in this country that go into care, the kids that get abandoned by their parents, I think 90% of them never even get GCSEs. Most of them go into drugs. Loads of them get abused. Isn't that our problem? A lot of people are going to say, not my problem. Not our problem. Why is that what our problem is? Our problem is. Our problem is the Gurdwara. Our problem is. But is that thinking along with Guru Gobind Singh Ji? If Guru Gobind Singh Ji was sitting here with us, and he was looking at us, would he be saying, not my problem either? Who believes in that Guru? Does any of you believe that that Guru, our Guru who's here, Anga Sangha, would he say that? It's not my problem. What would they say? They would say, no, it is my problem. Jagat dilanda, rakhale, apni kirpatar, jidduware ubre, tittele ubar. He is Jagat Guru. When Guru Nanak Dev Ji was asked, why are you going over the world? They say, Bhai Gurdas, he says, Chadya Sodhan Jagat Lokai. He left on his Udasyan to sort out the world. Sodhan Jagat Lokai. The people of the world. Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh Ji had the same mission. Sort out the world. That should be our mission. Sort out the world. Because they've given us zimmevari. So that's our job. And if you don't want to take that job on, then you don't have to look like him. There's no need for you to look like him if you don't want to do that job. Chhad Sanu kiya. It's not the case that we need hundreds of people to look like him. We need those people that are prepared to do what he wants us to do to look like him. I know it's a bit harsh sometimes because most of the people that come on stages like this are always saying, Ki kes rakho amrit shakho. I think no. Only take Amrit if you're prepared to do what Guru Gobind Singh Ji has told us to do. Otherwise, don't give your head to him. Because that's what Amrit is. Amrit is giving your head, saying, Maharaj, I will do what you told me to do and not what anybody else tells me to do. And what you told me to do is sort the world out. And nowadays, we keep telling people to take Amrit, but don't do what Guru Gobind Singh told him to do. So therefore, we've got a quality line going down. And in the old days, we all know this, पैरदार होंदे सिगे अमृत संचार इसमें से पैरदार होंदे सिगे और पूछते सिगे कि क्यों शक ना हैगा अमृत तुसी करना की है if you turned up in your 80s hobbling on a stick right and you just said जी मैनू मुक्ति चाहिए है अमृत शकान दो they would say no से की करना जा पाठ करी जाओ you get mukti Maharaj will कृपा on you Amrit was meant to be that you're now going to become a Sant Sipahi you're now going to fight I know it's a bit controversial because people say no it's not right. But Satsangaji, for me, Amrit is that kanda. If you can't be a thorn, if you can't be a thorny bush to both protect what we have and to be out there doing his mission, then it's not for you. Just be Jagat Guru Desik. Do Guru Granth Sahib Ji Di Bani, read all that, you will get blessed by Maharaj. Jo jo jape, tiski gat hoye. But the Khalsa is something different. The Khalsa is something khas. The Khalsa is going to do some stuff that the world is going to go, wow, whose Sikhs are you? Why do you do what you do? That's the job. When the Khalsa are out there, people should be asking you, what do you follow? Who are you? Which planet have you come from? It's almost like we're aliens. Because in the rest of the world, this thing does not exist. I can tell you, if you go around the world and look at the major dharmas, there is nothing like Sikhi out there. It's so unique, it's so amazing, people haven't even seen it yet. And when they hear about it, we've got these leaflets, We go on the streets and we talk about, the message. We talk about what the Gurus did. We talk about what is Sikhi about. Most people, they're stunned. They don't know what's going on. They never heard about this. They look at us, they don't think that we sing Kirtan. They don't know what Rag is. They don't understand that we give away free langar. They don't know what Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji did. They don't know what Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji did. They don't know what Guru Arjan Dev Ji did. These people, our Gurus, they were not people. They were God. That's what God would do. And that's what they did. They were the moon. And the Guru, Waheguru is the sun. This is a very interesting concept that we have in Gurbani, that a lot of people should know more about. Maharaj, we know when it was Guru Nanak Ji's birthday, we always sing the Shabad Chanda Chadeya. Have you heard that Shabad, everybody? Yeah? Miti Tunda Jag Chanan Hoya Chanda Chadeya. But I ask a lot of people, why is this a moon? Kyon likha hai Chanda Chadeya? Why is Guru Sahib the moon? Why not they being the sun? Namo Pane Pane. Why not the sun? Why is it the moon? Because the moon has no light of its own. The moon reflects the light from the sun. So, Waheguruji is the sun and Guruji is the moon. They reflect it straight back to us. They reflect only Waheguru. They don't reflect anything else. And also, why is it the moon? Because this is Kaljug. And Kaljug is described in Gurbani as Kud Amavas Vartya. Kud, darkness. Chut. And Amavas mean that dark, moonless night. Jithe Chandni na, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਚੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਮਾਵਸ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਅਮਾਵਸ ਕੂੜ ਅਮਾਵਸ ਵਰਤਿਆ and then what comes up? The moon. In that dark moonless night of Kaljug, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born 500 years ago, then the moon came up, and since then the moon has been shining. Since then there must be a full moon since then, because Guruji is here on the planet, and we have all been looking at this moon. First Namo Surya Surya and then Namo Chandra Chandra. So Sikhs have been looking at this moon for 500 years and they've kept it to themselves. We know we got moonlight, we're not sharing it. We got moonlight, it's beautiful, we need to share it with the world. And that is what Guru Gobind Singh Ji came out in the world to do. They came here to give this moonlight to everybody, so they can see what's happening in Kaljug. So they're not blind walking around lost. They can see the moon and they say, if the moon is there, the sun must be there. Because once you've seen the moon, you believe in the sun. Right? Because the moon doesn't shine with its own light. So therefore, it must be shining with somebody's light. It's got to be the sun. And then when we look at the moon, we can look at the sun. We can look inside. So Guru Sahib is that physical manifestation. He urges us. Nobody's done this. Nobody's done the things that Guru Sahib did. When we look at him, we can go, yeah, what were they? And then they say, read Bani. And when we read Bani, we'll go inside and we'll find out who they really were. And the light of God inside us will shine. We'll realize, oh to kuch bakri cheez hai. Oh hege halle bhi. Because they kirpa kar rahe hege. And they're still here. In the form of the Khalsa Panth and Guru Granth. And the third roop of Guruji. The one that's inside all of us. That mystical roop which is Waheguru. Bhai Nandlal asked Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Maharaj, what are you? Tusi hai ki cheez? Tell me, what are your forms? And Bhai Nandlal writes down what Guru Gobind Singh Ji said. Maharaj said, I got 3 forms. I got the Shabad form, which is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. I got the Gursikh form, which is a Khalsa Panth. And I got that third form, which is Nirgun. That Nirgun root, which is inside every single one of us, and that is Waheguru. That's Guruji saying himself, my third form is God. So we can't doubt him. Gur Paramesar Ek Ho Jaan. Jot is Pave, So Parvan. So, really, I would say that the Zimmawari for the Khalsa Panth right now is to sort its own house out first and sort out what its mission must be. Understand the mind, man. What is our mission must be? We must come from Gurbani, must come from what Guru Gobind Singh Ji said the Khalsa Panth was created for. And the next thing is to do the bachan of that, to talk about it amongst ourselves. So at least we know. There's a lot of youth that don't know this. A lot of people, there's a reason why people got so communist in Punjab. Because Sikhi has a real desire to change the world. Social revolution is built into Sikhi. That's why all these comrades came out in the Panth, in the Punjabi community. They came comrades because the people that had taken Amrit, The people that were supposed to become the kind of spiritual comrades, they weren't doing it. So they decided to become communists themselves. They didn't see that they were doing anything. But you know, when the first leher started, not the comrade leher later on, but before that, when the Singhs started coming back from India in 1915, when the Ghaddar movement started, a lot of those Singhs, they were not communists, they were Singhs. They were inspired by Gurbani. You know, good example, we've seen outside the books, Bhai Sabarandeep Singh. Bhai Sabarandeep Singh was a revolutionary. He went to jail for many, many years. But what are we doing now? We're just hiding up in our mountains. You know? We're not doing no revolutions. We believe in him, we follow him, we read his books. But what he was trying to do, take part in political agitation, we don't want to take part in political agitation. What he was trying to do, go to jail for his beliefs, we don't want to do. We're sticking away in what we were supposed to do. So actually, we're holding up these people, you know, but we're not following them. Even our gurus, what they done, we're not learning what they did. We're just saying Guru, Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you bow down to them, but we don't want to look at the history of what our gurus did. Even Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji, who we think, 5 years old, what are they going to do? Even they travelled. And even when they went, they showed the colour that they had. When they hit Chajju on the head, and Chajju daso Gita de Arth. We know that story, right? You know the story, Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji, tell that guy to tell the Arth of the Gita. He was a water carrier. But Satsang Ji, do we know what happened to that Pandit? The one that heard the Katha. Pandit Lal Chand Singh, I don't know. You know what he became? Pandit Lal Singh. He took Amrit in 1699. He stayed with Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji, then with Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, and then Guru Gobind Rai. Finally took Amrit in 1699, and guess where he was Shaheed? Chamkaur di Gadi. With the Badde Sahibzade. Pandit Lal Chand. If Pandit Lal Chand can become a Sikh of the 8th Guru, and still have faith in Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and take Amrit and then become a Shaheed, from where he was before a Pandit. Now we got people in our Panth casting doubt upon all 10 Gurus. Oh, I like the first 5 Gurus. I'm not so sure about the next 5 Gurus. But look at Pandit Lal Chand. Did he have any problems accepting who Sadhguru was? No. Our itihas, what the Gurus did and what the Gurus said, is paramount for us to teach our kids. And we can't mess about with it now. So Sangaji, for many, many years, we've taken it easy. I'll be honest, we just made Gurdwara. And when the Gurdwara were made, we decided, well, we've done our job now. Langar is chal rahega. But Sasangaji, where is Langar in Bani? Ram Kali ki war, it says, Langar chale Gur Shabad. Langar chale Gur Shabad, har tot na aave khati hai. Gur Shabad is our Langar. Just what Japji Sahib says, Pugat Gyan. Gyan is our food. And what is Daya Pandaran? Why do we distribute this food? Why do we give away our langar of Gur Shabad? Why do we give away our langar of Gyan? Because we have Daya. We have Daya on the world, and we give away Bani. So this is the Shabad that we are supposed to give away. We're supposed to see the problems in the world and say, oh man, they need some of Guru's Gyan. Bhagat Gyan, Daya, Pandaran. And who should we give it to? Kinu deiye ji? Bani tells us the answer. Kithe? Karte, karte, vaje. In the old days, the yogis, when they used to have food, there was somebody who used to make the food, Pandarani, Daya. Yes, Daya is Pandarani. She used to make the food. And what did she used to do? She used to blow a horn. Sinyi, that Guru Gobind talks about. Sinyi Saj. Sinyi, she used to blow the horn, and those people that used to blow the horn, they used to come and eat. Maharaj says, Karte, karte, vaje. In every single heart, in every single being, there is that sound, that naad, that they want that food. Every single person wants this food of Gyan. There's not one person in the world who doesn't need to know what Gurus did and what the Gurus said. It is our job to tell everybody what the Gurus did, what the Gurus said. And the rest of that is up to Guru. Jine sunna hai, it's up to Maharaj. It's not up to us. Those that are going to listen, like we just said now, that if it's by Guru's kirpa, then they will listen. Aap japai jape suna. Aap gavai. So hargun gao. Our job is to tell it. Our job is not to preach it, just teach it. Our job is not to sell it, just tell it. and they themselves will follow if it's Guru's kirpa, if it's in his hukam, उन्होंने करना हैगा। सानू सिर्फ दसना हैगा लोकां नू, सानू ने no, we don't have to force it down their throats. Just tell them this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what they did. This is what they said. मेरे गुरु ने एक किया, मेरे गुरु ने एक किया, बस। तुसी सुनना सुन लो, नहीं सुनना सुनो, तुहाडी मर्जी। किरपा हैगी तो तुसी सुन लोगे, नहीं हैगी तो नहीं सुनोगे, ठीक है। आज ਜਿਹੜੇ बैठे हैगे है, बहुत सारे लोग आज सुनणगे ते गल नहीं पल्ले पैगी, नहीं पैगी तो की होया? मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता इस चीज बारे, ਉਹਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਫੋਰਸ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰੋ। ਸਿੱਖੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਫਰੀडम। ਇੱਕ ਇਤਿਹਾਸਿਕ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ। ਇਹ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ 40 ਮੁਕਤ ਦਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ। ਜਦ 40 ਮੁਕਤੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਸੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਦਾਵਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਸਾਧ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਜੰਗ ਦਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਸ਼ਾਂਤੀ ਦਾ ਵੇਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜੰਗ ਦੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਦਾਵਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ। फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर देख लो, सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर देख लो, जिस वक्त किसी ने कहा कि मैं नहीं लड़ना यार, मेरे वापस कर भेज दो, की किया उन्होंने? गोली मारती। फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर देख लो, कितने सारे लोगों ने डिजर्शन वास्ते गोली मारी सी उन्होंने। इन द फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर दे शॉट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल फॉर डिजर्शन। A lot of 15-16-year-old kids that thought it was a great adventure joined the army, they got shot for desertion. कि उन्होंने जंग दे वेले in war time they left the front lines। पर गुरु गोबिंद सिंह देख लो, उन्होंने जंग दे वेले 40 लोगों को कहता जाओ जी जाओ, बस चिट्ठी लिख दो कि तुसी मेरे सिख नहीं। This is a volunteer army. We don't need to be here if you don't want to be here. You can go as long, no problem, जाओ जी जाओ। No, we have no need for you if you don't want to be here. But if you want to be here, this is the job you got to do. Our job is to do what Guru Gobind Singh told us to do। हम एक काज जगत मो आए, तरम हेत गुरुदेव पठाए। What did God say to them? जहां तहां तुम तरम बिथारो, दुष्ट दोखिन पकड़ पछारो। ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੀ? ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਆ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ, ਇੱਥੇ ਧਰਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਇੱਥੇ। Have you seen Sikhs set up dharma over here? You know, somebody texted me today. They said it would be great if some Gurdwara took the shahidi of the Qurbani, he said, of not being Gurdwara anymore but becoming homeless shelters. I said, Singh, you got a good soch. Because if you got a city with 5 Gurdwara, why have they got 5 Gurdwara? Because they got 5 committees. Yeah, isn't that true? Even I was hearing earlier on, was at Newcastle got 2 Gurdwara. Probably there's 2 different committees there, yeah? And I'm guaranteeing you those committees don't like each other. So they set up their own Gurdwara. This is what happens. And why does it happen? Because we give them money to do so. Because we have only seen Gurdwara. Because you've only seen Gurdwara, we know what a Gurdwara requires. It requires buildings, it requires langar, it requires a kitchen, it requires a divan, it requires a darbar, and these tabla, kirtan. We know these things, yeah? So we put it together. So we know Gurdwara kive banda hai. But Khalsa kive banda hai? Asi dekhya nahi. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ। We haven't seen what the Khalsa was meant to do. We haven't thought about it. We don't know how it works. So we don't know how to make it. So we walk around, we see our kids, and they don't know what's going on in Sikhi, and we think, I don't know what to do. Ki kariye bhai? And most of us, Satsangji, most of us are not taking it seriously. We're not taking it seriously that we need to make Khalsa. We need to make our Panth into Sikhs, and we're not taking that seriously. I can tell you now, because the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the karam, isn't it? How many courses are there in this country for Sikhi? Can you sign up to a course in your north of England? If you're interested in finding about Itihas, can you sign up to a course anywhere? What about the Midlands? Can they sign up to a course in the Midlands? Maybe if you go to one or 2 universities. What about Sikh studies? Is there a course at universities? Has anybody heard about Sikh studies at universities? 1 or 2 places in this whole country. In Birmingham, I think. Nothing in London, really. I tried to do Sikh studies when I was at university. They said to me, sorry, can't get you a tutor. Tutor nahi hai, to tusi course nahi kar sakde. Course nahi kar sakde, tutor nahi ban sakde. Catch-22, isn't it? We can't get out of it. We can't study it because we haven't got tutors. We can't have got tutors because no one can study it. How do we get out of this? You know, in Jinnah Punjab de hai, unhone par Chakravyuh hai, Chakravyuh. Chakravyuh sikha oh chaal jede vich nikal nahi sakde. है ना, पर एक बंदे ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਅਰਜਨ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ. So how do we get out of it? We need to get out of it by using our Guru's mat. It's very simple. Just teach people our history and just teach people what Guru said. And I'll give you an example. I'm just one person. I'm nobody special. I'm not a Gyani. I haven't studied at Taksal. I haven't studied anywhere. But you know what? I saw the problems in my local area. And the reason I'm telling you this is not because of my Baba. Because I want someone here to say, I'll do it here. I really wish somebody was going to stand up at the end of this and say, I'll do it here. Yeah, I'm not here to say, Ki meri Baba karo. A year ago, I was seeing the same problems that I'm sure some of you are seeing. I saw a girl on the internet crying कि मैंने सिक्खी नहीं पता सीगी. मैं गुरुद्वारे गई, मैं पूछा से सिक्खी है कि दस्या नहीं मैंने कुछ. मेरा मुसलमान एक बॉयफ्रेंड सीगा, उन्हें मैंने फसाता सीगा, वो कहता सीगा कि तू एक सिक्खी इंज हैगी, इंज हैगी, इंज हैगी. मैंने कुछ नहीं पता सीगा, तो मैंने ना पता सीगा कि मैं किन्नू पूछा, है ना. वो ऑलमोस्ट मुसलमान बन गई सीगी. लकीली एक दिन उन्हें अपने प्यो ने थोड़ी गल की, ते प्यो ने एक इतिहास की कहानी आ गई, उन्हें दस दी थी. और कुड़ी का दिल थोड़ा शांत हो गया, तो उन्हें छड़ दी. वो नहीं गई, नहीं तो उन्हें घर छड़ना सीगा उस दिन. She was going to go. वो बच गई. वो रो रही सी कि no one told me anything about Sikhi. And I was sitting there crying, watching this video. And I gave myself a slap. It was on YouTube, there was no one there. But I gave myself a slap. I said, you know these stories, and you're just working on your own things. You don't care. You got your business, you got your job, you go to Gurdwara, that's it, you're happy. You don't give two hoots. You don't care what the problems are. No, self-absorbed. That's what's happening. There's a lot of very good diamonds in our panth. Very people with loads more gyan. Loads more. You are lucky you guys here. You got a Kathawajik here who speaks English. He's always giving you Katha. But you know what? Majority of this in this country, it isn't there. What do we do? What do we do with our jewels that get into Sikhi? We tell them, Kam karo ji. Kirt kamao. Karo na. We tell them all the wrong things. We're fighting a battle. You imagine what my Pago said to her husband. खेती बाड़ी करो. क्यों भाई इत्थे लड़ रहे हो? इत्थे करो काम हैगा बच्चे नु सांभो. क्यों नहीं? Did they say that to them? Is that what my Pago told the Charlie Mukte when they came back? कि जो करो जी, get back to work then. We got work to do. किर्त कमाओ. Then we share our langar. We have langar in our Gurdwara. That'll be happy. We done our bit. That's what's happening now, isn't it? All the people that get into Sikhi, they get told, what are you doing? बड़े ज्ञानी बने हैं हो. कौन बंदे रहे? That's what we tell our best people. We tell them, who are you to do this? Go to work. Work 9 to 5 in this job that doesn't satisfy you. Go and spend your time running around from A to B traveling, and finally on the weekend you can do something. But guess what? We say you should get married as well. Guru Sahib said get married. Then they get married. Now you should have kids. Then they got kids in the weekend, and that's it. You never see that person again. Once they're married, we know in the Panth, both people were doing a lot when they were 19, 20, and they got to university. As soon as they got married, you never see him again. Singh's got a job, Singh's got a wife, Singh's got a family, never see Singh again. Never see Kaur again, that's it. And what do we lose? I'm not saying that, don't get the... But I'm saying, where is our plan for developing the next generation of leaders? When we got a fire in our house, when we got a zimmawari given to us by our father, okay, look after our house, look after my house. Where is our job for taking care of that zimmawari? We haven't got a plan. We have not got a plan. We haven't got a 1-year plan. We haven't got a 5-year plan. We definitely ain't got a 10-year plan. We got no plan. We're just bumbling along. Bas, chalo. Ape ho jaga. No. In one way, it will happen himself. But also, Bani tells you very clearly, Apan hatti apana, ape hi kaaj savari hai. It's in your hands. Don't tell me it's not in our hands. When there's nothing we can do, then He will do it. Why? Paudi. Tithe tu samrath, chithe koi nahi. When we got nothing else, there why Guru will support us. But when we got it in our hands, He's not going to say, I'll come and do it. He said, do it then. Tode hath chi hega. We've got it in our hands to solve all the problems that we need to solve in our panth. We're not doing it. We say, Maharaj ape karuga. Guru Gobind Singh Ji doesn't want that. Guru Gobind Singh wants a Khalsa to stand up and do what it's meant to do. Mana bache karam. Think about it, talk about it, then do it. But don't just not even think about it. Don't even talk about it and never just say, oh, it's not for me, no thanks. We got a lot of work to do. We got a bare work to do. If we say London slang, we got tons of work to do for our Panth. Every single kid, we should have an aim. Our aim should be every single child, by the time they're 11 years old, should understand Japji Sahib. Every single child, by the time they're 11 years old, should know the itihas of our history. Should know everything from Guru Nanak to Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ram Das Ji. Should know the Guru's itihas. Should know what happened in the Misl period. Should know what happened in the Ranjit Singh Raj. Should happen what happened in the British coming in. They should know what happened in the Ghadar movement. They should know what happened in independence. They should know our itihas. Why not? Is this not something that we can do? Is it not in our hands to do this? Of course it is. You got the buildings. We need teachers to put inside the buildings, and we need classes to run. And we need parents to bring their kids there. And we can do it. Apna hati apna. Aape hi ka sawari. Ek saal ho gaya hai, we've been doing this channel. And a year ago I had this idea, you know how you have like, pick something out of your pocket, scribble something on it. I thought, you know what? There's a couple of us sitting down. I said, we need to have a course. We need to have some kind of course. Some kind of introduction course to Sikhi. So we set one up. And look, how are we going to divide Sikhi up into 12 topics? 12 weeks, university term. And we just sit down and we wrote it out. And we hired someone, because we were all busy, to do the research. A history graduate. Put some money forward and said, look, do kar. You fill out all the paperwork. And he did all the research. And after that, we took that research and we made it even better. We made it into some kind of course. And we just said, look, we're going to run this course. We're making it up as we go along. Because it's not being done for us. Yeah? But we have to do something, nee? So we set up this course, the Why Guru course. Not like why. Kyo? Why Guru? So it was a bit of a play on words. And then we taught it in Shepherd's Bush. So Sangaji, the people that came on the course, some of them didn't know nothing about Sikhi. Yeah? And then you get them 2 years later, 1 year later, now once, he was on a committee first, now he's like, we've got to get Kirtan, got to get Simran. They got Gurmat classes going in the local area. Because you armed them. But pehle se they were unarmed. They walk into Guru, they got no facts to their hands. Maharaj says, Gyan Khadag. Gyan Khadag means the sword of knowledge. Now every single fact is a weapon in your hand. When somebody questions you on your faith, you can pull out that weapon. Chop them, off they go. Yeah? That battle, that war is going nowhere because you blocked it with a shield and you cut it. That's it. The same way, in your Gurdwara committees, when you want to do something, they throw stuff at you all the time. And you need to block that. You need to cut them with, but if you haven't got gyan, if you haven't got any facts to your hands, you can't do nothing, you walk away. So therefore, we need to arm our youth with knowledge. Give them the shastra of Gyan Kharad. And then we say to them, Nahan tusi lado. If you teach them our history, teach them what the Gurus did, teach them what the Guru Sikhs did, teach them what Guru Sahib said and what it meant, that's it. We've done our job. We've armed them with knowledge. That they can do what they want. And they may do some amazing stuff. We never expected it. It's like, when texting first came out, yeah? When texting was first invented, no one expected it to become what it is now. They thought it was going to be just some little thing, no one's going to use it. Everybody just uses text. Yeah? Now, when they invented apps, Apple, when they invented App Store, they didn't expect apps to do anything. When the App Store है ना, और पहले जो बनिया से ना, Apple ने सोचे थे कुछ नहीं होना, चलो कर देंगे है कुछ नहीं होना. और देखो, it's the biggest thing they have. The biggest money earner they have is the App Store. So Sangaji, we don't know what's going to be out there in our Panth. We haven't tried. We're just making it up as we go along. We have to invention. Because Maharaj has said to us, Ki tusi sambo. It's in our hands. We got no choice but to do it ourselves. So we have to start making these things up ourselves. And let's see where it goes. And who knows where it might go to. You don't know. I just started this channel up for a joke. Almost, not joke, but I was sitting in my office, put a camera on, film myself, put it on YouTube. Now look, I've quit my job and I'm doing prachar full time. We don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah? But we have to try. We have to do something. It's not in our option. It's not an option to do nothing. Doing nothing is not an option. We have to stand up. We have to do something, and Maharaj will help. That's the beauty of our Guru. He helps those that do something. He says, Maharaj says, Ki, if you got something to do, tell it to him. Jis Kita lodiye kam, so har pe aaki. Karas de sawal. Sadguru says. So if we have something to do, karo, do it, and then Maharaj will help. So we set this 12-week course up. Now we did it once, second time now in Southall. There's 30 people turning up every week to learn Itihas. For one, they've been going for 10 weeks now. And they love it. And they're all getting into Sikhi now. They all want to do some seva. Not just they've all kept their gears, because you know what? A lot of people think Sikhi is keep your gears, take Amrit, that's it. Ho gaya kaam ban gaya. But they are doing stuff. They want to start doing langar runs. They want to start doing homeless runs. They want to start doing something with what they learn. They go to Amrit that they can. So Sanghaji, I don't ever tell them keep your gears. There's no need to. If the Khalsa just does what the Guru Sahib said, people will say, what are you? And I want to be like you. Who do you follow? Who's your Guru? And that's exactly how Sikhi was started. A lot of people asked, like Guru Amar Das Ji, yeah? He went home and he was hearing Kirtan by Bibi Pani Ji, daughter of Guru Angad Dev Ji, yeah? Who was married into his family. And he said, Ki pad rahe gyo? I heard this beautiful shabad. And it was Japji Sahib. And they said, Kiki, well, who wrote this? He said, my Guru Nanak Dev Ji wrote this. And my dad taught it to me. He goes, who's your Guru? He goes, Guru Angad. So he said, I want to go meet Guru Angad. That's how Sikhs have. Guru Amar Das became a Sikh by the same way. Just if we're good enough, if we do what our Guru told us to do, people will say, I want to be like you. And you know what? They're not going to be following us. If the Khalsa does his job, the Khalsa is doing Guru's memo the whole time. Because they're not going to follow you, they're going to follow Guru. Because all you're doing is change your name, change your face, change everything about yourself, became his. Banda ban gaya. Not Banda in that human Punjabi sense, but Banda of the Guru. Banda Singh Bahadur was a Banda of Guru. So we need to become Banda of our Guru. And when he became his Banda, then people would start to follow. And that's why I was laughing when the Shabad was being sung earlier. Maharaj ji kirpa kiti, Maharaj says, Jo har ka pyara, so sabna ka pyara. So if we start to become a pyara, pyara is a Khalsa, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's pyari are the Khalsa. So you can take that and you can say, you know what? The person who is a pyara of Guru, he is sabna ka pyara. Because Har and Guru is the same thing. Har and Guru, there's no difference. Bani says, Har har jandui ek hai, bebechar kach na hai. Guru and Vaheguru, Hari and Guru are the same thing. Na jana har aradre, har har gur gur karatri. That's it. Guru and Hari are the same. So, jo gur ka pyara, so sabna ka pyara. That's what it means for us. The example first, if you become Guru wale, then everybody will do your Sifar Salah. And that's true. People will ask you to travel the world. But don't be scared of that. Because you're not doing it for yourself. Doing it for Him. You're only doing it for Him. We're doing it for Him. And that's His hukum. Wada hukum hai ki karo. Karo. Don't just talk about it. Do it. So Satsangji, this is the problem facing our panth right now. We need a lot more people to get up and carry the weight of the panth. We don't need you to sit there. If you got to work 4 days a week, work 4 days a week. Spend 1 week doing Sikhi, 1 day a week doing Sikhi. Yeah? You can do that. People work part-time. If someone falls ill in your house, you say to your work, sorry, I've got to work part-time. When it's a fire in your own house, what are you going to do? There's a fire in our house right now. We need to sort things out very quickly. So that those children, like my children are 4 or 5 years old, when they get to 15, I want them to see the Khalsa. I want in 10 years for my kids to go, Pop, my dad, this is the Khalsa. I want to be like them. I don't want them to think the Khalsa's in books. The Khalsa don't exist no more. No. We need the Khalsa to come back here. Show the world what the Khalsa is. And for that, we need to invest. We need to set up the courses. We need to teach people Sikhi. We need to get out there and start doing stuff. So for that, Satsangaji, a lot of people are going to have to give a little bit of Qurbani. Qurbani of their time, Qurbani of their Maya. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. I can't do this channel by myself. We need more people on board. So I'm going to do a little 1 minute benti from my end. If you don't know what to do, you can support us. We want to hire 5 people across the country. Maybe even more hopefully, but initially just start with 5. I'm one, I've already started. I quit my job, quit my company, and I do this now, Prachar. Yeah? Because Mala the Hukum Siga. I asked him, what do you think? He goes, go. So, Odi Agya hai yeah. But now we need more people on board. Because it's too much work for one person. I've got kids and everything, and the whole family suffers because there's too much work. Ki karo, what will you choose? The fire's in the house, you're not going to fight it. You have to fight it now. But you're just waiting for more people to join you. And there are people that want to step up and join us. So we need to hire them. We should take them out of their normal jobs and say, Aja, tu aja. Don't worry, we'll pay your roji roti. Just come and do the pantik work. And I'll give you an example of that. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਹਜ਼ੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਢਾਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਢਾਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਲੜ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਤਨਖਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਪੈਸੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੈਗੇ। ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਢਾਲ ਲਵੋ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਓ ਇੱਕ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਖੋਦੋ ਥੱਲੇ ਖੋਦ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੋਨਾ ਦੇ ਮੋਹਰ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸੋਨੇ ਦੇ ਮੋਹਰ। ਇੱਕ ਢਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਭਰ ਲਓ ਮੋਹਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਢੱਕ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਣਾ। Just bring me that one shield of gold coins. That shield is still there. It's not the case that Guru Gobind Singh didn't look after the Singhs. It's not the case that what we think dreamland, you know, everybody just worked for free. There was no... It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was real. It was reality. People still needed to eat. It wasn't magic that they just got fed from sky. It wasn't born ahad. Yeah? It was people were... And Guru Sahib was looking after the Singhs as well. So we have this idea that Nishkam Seva means nothing. It doesn't work that way. Nishkam Seva means with no desire for anything for ourselves. This is Nishkam Seva. All we want to do is spread Guru's message. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care. Mera naam bhi nahi aave on the channel. But the point is, let Guru's work get done. Aap japo, avra naam japao. Ye hukam hai to the Khalsa Panth. So, Satsangat ji, I'm going to do my little benti to say, look, if you want to support us, there's leaflets outside. On the back of this leaflet you can take. We're a charity, everything's published. You know, we're trying to just employ people on low wages to do prachar. Because they can't get done any other way. We tried it part-time, doesn't work. Too much work to do. If 10 people or 20 people were employed full-time to do prachar, in 10 years' time, you'd be surprised what we could achieve. At least we could try. At least we could give it a good shot. Then what could happen? Maybe we can be in Jardikala. Maybe the Khalsa will start walking this ground again. Maybe then people would say, wow, Tana Guru Pyare, Tana Guru Pyare. Yahi hona aega. When the Guru Pyare walks this earth, people will say, and then we will say, Raj karega Khalsa. Aapki koi nahi rehna. No one will say, nahi, na kare Raj. Everybody will say, karo Raj. Khalsa, Raj karo. They will say, Khalsa, Raj karo. And then we will say, Raj karega Khalsa. कौन करेगा? खालसा राज करेगा। किवें करेगा? पंथी जीत होवेगी, पंथी हार नहीं, पंथी जीत होवेगी। तो किवें होवेगी? जब देग दी फतेह होवेगी। देग means food and protection. When we start giving people food and protection, basic human rights of food, medicine, when we start protecting people, then fateh. That's deg fateh. Deg jag mein daw chale. Excuse me. Maharaj says, let food and protection go all over the world. So Khalsa's job is to give food, basic needs and protection to every single person. That's our mission. Deg fateh. When we get deg fateh, then we will get Panth ki jeet. We'll have won, we'll have done our job. And then, what will people say? People will say, Raj karo. You rule us. We don't trust anybody else. You rule us. And then we will say, Raj karega Khalsa. It's so easy and it's written for us. It's all written. He's given us the whole blueprint. So, I'm sorry I've spoken from the heart. No speech, I just spoke from what was coming. And I'm sure I must have offended some of you guys, so I apologize for that. But Maharaj hopefully bless me with more mat. So I promised that I would take some time for questions. There is paper and pen here. If you've got a few questions, what I will do, we'll do a bit of Simran. And then if anybody's got any questions, then we can try going through them. Because it's good to have some Q&A. Vaheguru.